The images and message from the April snow survey were both alarming and unheard of.
We should be standing in 5 feet of snow.
This is the first time since 1942 we've had 0 snow at this location.
The snowpack is at a record low, and one of the major Bay Area reservoirs is feeling the impact. Hetchy collects melting snow and taps into gravity to send water from Yosemite 165 miles to our faucets. 85% of our supply comes from the Sierra, serving San Francisco, most of San Mateo, and parts of Alameda and Santa Clara counties. Over 2 million people rely on this water source. While park visitors walk on the dam, we hopped on a boat to see how the extreme drought was impacting Hetchy. You might think a reservoir that relies on snow would be empty, but
we're floating on about 80 billion gallons of water right now.
Steve Ritchie is the Assistant General Manager for Water at the San Francisco Public Utilities Commission. He says that even though the reservoir is 70% full, a nice supply, there should be a lot more.
We'll go up here a little ways, you won't see any snow up in the peaks.
Bob Slater has been a watershed keeper here for 9 years, seeing both the highs and lows.
On a good water year, that waterfall almost falls directly into the reservoir. When it's running hard and the lake's full, you don't even see these rocks.
Wapama Falls is flowing at 2,300 gallons per second, but for a normal year, it would be 5 times that rate.
At this point, though, even a little bit of rain would be nice.
As the ride continues, more evidence of the drought. Dark areas on granite where falls should be flowing, rock structures that should be submerged, and the defined boundary of the high water mark. We reach an area seen by few, the connection between a river and a reservoir. This cup of water will take about 3 days to make it to the Bay Area. Behind me is the Tuolumne River, the main source of snowmelt for Hetchy. On an average year, they'll fill up the reservoir 3 times. This year, it won't happen once. Remnant snow is melting now and adding to the supply. By June, reservoir storage will crest at 80% of capacity. It sounds like a lot, but we're actually still borrowing from history. The supply right now includes water from the past couple of winters.
Based off the 1987 through 1992 drought, we started planning as if we might have 8.5 years of drought, a series of dry years that we might have to live through. And so we're using that planning that we've done in the past to help us manage through what's the reality of this drought.
Hetchy is just one piece of the puzzle. The entire system supply in the Bay Area, which includes 5 more reservoirs and a water reserve, is only at 54% of capacity. Hoping for a productive winter is not enough. The planning is happening now, and that could include more cuts.
If we have next year as bad as this year, I'm sure we will go to mandatory rationing because we'll be in a more severe condition, and we will have to assume that it's going to get worse.
The falls will soon dry up, and the river just a trickle, leaving this reservoir in a vulnerable place. Each turn of the faucet in the Bay Area will determine what it will look like next year if the drought continues. Mark Tamayo, KTVU, Fox 2 News.